Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Beauty day in the bay. Tonight I'm gonna snow blow the driveway because it's not snowing and it doesn't look like it's gonna. So I figure today'd be a good day to get rid of the snow. Hey, hey! I'm gonna let the dog out because he's probably got a shit. I'm expecting him to start honking. Here he goes. Yeah. There he goes. He lays down on the step, and then when he gets up, he starts honking because he probably hits himself in the throat or something. He's cute, just not smart, but you know, it is what it is. Oh man, I gotta fix that switch. So lately, I've been having some fun. I go on Marketplace there, and you know, everybody in the winter, they go and they sell their sleds and other things. It's like in the fall, you know. You see a massive amount of boats on Kijiji or on Facebook Marketplace because people are just dumping them because they don't want to bother, you know, wrapping them up and that. So it's easier just to sell it and then make some money over winter and buy a new boat in the spring. So that's what a lot of people end up doing. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm refilling my my water, the water cooler. I've been using it a lot lately to make teas and stuff. So it tends to deplete over time. Oh, there goes Oreo, barking his furry little face off. But yeah, I was looking at some and I found this a sled on there. Obviously, I'm not gonna buy it because I can't afford to do that right now. I still haven't gotten my first big paycheck, but I like to window shop, you know, just jump on Marketplace, see what people are selling. Sometimes you come across something that's just too good of a gem to let go, and like the day I found that $25 friggin' thing for my my raspberry bushes. That was a gem that I couldn't let go because if it starts and then it turns off, I already know it's a carb problem. Not exactly a hard problem to fix either because I've had devices do that already. So simple carb work, and I got myself a cultivator or whatever the hell that thing's called. A tiller. That's what it's called, a tiller. Then I can till up all those raspberry bushes and try and get down to the roots and make life a lot easier on me. Oh man, all this running water makes me really have to use it. There, that should fill up nicely. Put the rest in the animal's water dish. Good enough, good stuff. I got a rocket piss. But here's the thing, right? I've been on Marketplace. I found this really nice Yamaha Exciter. 1992, had 8,000 kilometers on it. Don't know if that's bad for a sled or not. But buddy only wanted 1,500 bucks. I don't have 1,500 bucks, so obviously it's not coming home. But then I was chatting with Nikki about that, and she goes, well, what about a four-wheeler on the ice? And I said, oh, a lot of people do that. They ride their quads on the ice and go ice fishing. And she's like, well, I got two here that I don't need. So if you want them, you can have them. And I was like, okay. So I really don't need to buy a quad because I'm going to be picking up two of them. And then they need some work. The one, she said, needs the top end of the engine rebuilt. So that's whatever. That could be a fun project for us to do on YouTube. Learn how to rebuild the top end of an engine and then reassemble it. And maybe by next winter, I'll have something to rock on the ice with. Tie up my sleigh behind it and drag it out, or maybe get one of those flip overs for an easier deploy, so we can arrive on site, shovel off an area, rip some holes, drop some lines, and go fishing. The other one, she says it just doesn't run, but we'll take a look at it. If it has compression, it's probably carb work. Just clean the carb. So that's pretty cool. You know, she was just going to get rid of them, put them at the side of the road and let somebody pick them up. But instead, I'll pick them up. I'll probably need to rent a trailer or something to get them down from her house to here. But yeah, it's, hey man, 4x4 is a 4x4. If I can get it running and going, that could be one hell of a friggin' awesome thing to have. She said she used to plow with them back in the day. They're obviously four-wheel drive and they're obviously torque monkeys. So would I put a plow in it? Probably not. Because if I did, I'd be like going out on the ice being like, I'm gonna plow a road to my stop and just drop the blade and push all the snow out of the way for the friggin' for the flip over to sit on, you know, one of those. No, it's and even in the summer, you know, if I want to go hit up these backwood lakes that are a bitch to get to, there's usually some sort of a trail you can use to get to them. So jump on the quad and ride it on out and get to the location. And oh, I just walked into that one. That's pretty sweet. But I still love the window shop. I still love to see what people are selling on there. You go into the electronics section, and that's my favorite. People are gaming system top end, and I'm like, okay. And it's like a Ryzen 2600 with GeForce 1050 top end. My 1070 can barely play Red Dead Redemption. So if that 1050 Ti with a 2600 top end, then my machine is ultra end. you know, like 4 gigahertz to 6700K. Yeah, definitely it's top end. Like it's ultra level with a 1070. Yeah, for sure. Believe me, I know things. Pull up. But yeah, like I just like the window shop. That's you know, I go on Amazon, I'll sit there and see things and I'll add them to the cart. I'll never click submit. I'll end up deleting them later on just because window shopping's fun. It's fun to look at what's out there that you can purchase. It's all stuff I don't need. Don't even know why I want it. Have you guys ever done that? Just gone window shopping, browsed around, went to Walmart just to look at shit, or whatever store you have in your area. I don't know if they have Walmarts in the UK or in anywhere else people watch this. I know they have them in the US because it originated there, but sometimes I like to do that. Just go around, look at different things, see what's new in the market. Lately, all the products are the same though. Like there's not really much differentiating between a lot of the products out there. So there really isn't much to look at, but sometimes you come across a hidden gem. That's why I like the marketplace in Kijiji, is because you never know what you're going to find. You could find some antique thing that's pretty badass. Same with flea markets. Flea markets can be just a riot. You walk in there and there's just random crap everywhere, right? So you just walk around and start examining all the random crap. Then you come across ideas as you see things. Like last year when Tara and I went to the flea market in Sturgeon and we checked out the, well, I saw a bunch of fishing gear. I was like, wouldn't that be a funny video? Go to the flea market, buy flea market rod, reel, and tackle. I'd have to put my own line on it because I'm pretty sure line from the 1940s would probably be more brittle than hay. And yeah, so I'd have to put some line on it. That would be off the competition. And then go down to the lake and try and catch a fish on lures and equipment from before I was born. That could be interesting. And they had some really weird reels there too that I've never seen before. But keep in mind, I've only been fishing for 2 years, going on my 3rd now. So I don't exactly have a lot of experience in the area. But it would be really cool to give that a try and see what happens, because why not, right? And it was all pretty cheap. Like the rods were about 20 to 30 bucks. The reels were about 20 to 30 bucks. And the baits were like $3 a piece. So, and they had some like really old wooden style too, held together with, not with wire. They were using like friggin' screw eyes. Like you could see the gap between the center and where it was supposed to flex. It was pretty cool stuff. I think I filmed some of it on that flea market run that I put into a video because I just thought it was really neat. Lots of cow stuff there too. I don't really need any more cow stuff, but if I wanted more cow stuff, I know where to get cow stuff. The flea market. Man, today I woke up, I am so lethargic. I don't know what the hell's come over me. I got up this morning, but then again, I didn't get to bed last night till like 12:30, so I only really had like 6 hours, maybe 5.5 hours of sleep. So that's probably playing a role. I'm a little bit off today, boys. Just a little bit off today. And yeah, I'm like trying everything. I had coffee. I had a pre-workout this morning to see if that would kickstart the heart. If anything, that just made me crack a fart. So just not on my game. I'm like way off. So tonight I want to get to bed early. Get some sleep. Like I need to go out there and clear that driveway because Nikki's going to be here tomorrow night after 4. And I want to make sure she can at least jump the friggin' hump at the end of the driveway and park her truck. And I also need to make sure that I don't think I'm going anywhere tonight. I was going to replace the doorknob on the back door, but I'm like, that can wait. It works. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine here. How are you guys? So probably going to skip the whole knob replacement for now. We'll do that some other day. If it gets really bad, then it gets really bad. And you know, if I'm ever at Walmart or Cambodian Tire, I'll just jump in there and grab a knob, and then when the weather picks up, because right now I'd have to leave the door open to change the knob, and I don't want the furnace fighting with the outside because, well, that's a battle it just won't win. So I figure maybe we'll hold off until the weather's nicer and then get a new knob on the back door. But I do want to replace that back door, and I've mentioned that previously, because the damn thing bleeds in so much cold air from the outside that it would be nice to actually have a good back door on there to prevent the bleeding of the air, in my mind anyway. Something that's like, you know, when you close it, you hear it suck itself in because it makes a perfect seal. Not like this wooden door that you close it and you're fighting with it to get it to close because the seals are not designed for the door that I put in. I'll have to price that out too. That'll be some, like now that I'm actually back to making I'm making more than what I was at Ontario. I can afford to do a little bit of upkeep on this house and try and not modernize it, but just basically fix all the screw ups. Save myself some money next winter so the furnace isn't running 24/7, 365. Anyway, guys, I gotta get back to work, so I'll chit chat with you guys on my lunch break. Okay, peace. Who's a little mouth face? Who's a little mouth face? Who's a mouth face? Mouth face! Mouth face! Mouth face! Anyway, guys, it's motherfriggin' lunchtime. Motherfriggin' lunchtime. Gonna go have a shake for lunchtime. Motherfriggin' lunchtime. Motherfriggin' lunchtime. Jesus. Here we go. Okay, I think he's done. Those are getting like closer and closer. Probably wouldn't be so bad if you'd hydrate, but my dog's too stupid to friggin' drink sometimes. Can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Oreo thinks he's a horse. So yeah, I've been talking to some of the guys about 3D printers. Like I said, 3D printers at work and stuff, and I'm pretty sure I know what I'm getting. I'm just waiting to get paid so I can get it. I think I'm gonna go with the Ender Pro. Everybody who, like a couple of my buddies bought 3D printers down south, and they bought some cheap knockoff on Amazon that was like, it was on for like $179. And they said, Adam, the print quality's piss. And then like, well, what do you have now? And they mainly have the Ender Pro with the heated bed, and they all said that you can definitely tell a difference in the print quality. He's like, on the shitty one, the cheap one, the print quality was lacking detail. He goes, but on the Ender Pro, you can actually get some pretty sweet detail out of it. And because I want to make fishing baits as my main thing and GoPro mounts, the fishing baits having like a scale pattern on the side won't hinder the performance. If anything, it's going to make it feel more realistic. So that's kind of cool. Another thing I need to do is I have an idea for a bait that's never been done before. I looked it up and I couldn't find anybody who's done it. So my plan is to do it and see how well it works. That's all I can say about that, because it's this idea I've been throwing around in my head, and I've been looking at baits and nobody's done it to this day, as far as I know. Like I've tried Google searching the idea. I've tried Pinterest searching the idea. I looked everywhere, up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. I couldn't find this idea anywhere. So this might be a brand new creation coming from Skivinz Bait and Tackle till I come up with a better name for the bait shop. If it works, then it works. And if it doesn't, then whatever. You know, you got to try things. You got to try new things. You think Rapala became what they are today because they didn't experiment? I think Guggen is where they are today because they didn't experiment. It's all about experimentation. And maybe I come up with a really wicked formula that's really good. And then like Guggen or Rapala or somebody contacts me and says, hey, that trademark you have on that bait, that's pretty friggin' sweet. We want to buy that from you. And then they give me a large chunk of change, or maybe I join the Guggen squad. That'd be friggin' sick. You know, go from there and start producing some unique baits for them. That would be kind of sick though, to join the Guggen squad. So those guys look like they have a lot of fun. It's kind of like Duck Dynasty, but like the YouTube edition. I'd be down with that. Side note, I would like to say my computer runs Blender like a sack of potatoes, but that's okay because that computer is old and outdated. It's 5 generations old compared to the new stuff out there. I didn't realize Ryzen went to the 5000 series already. That's pretty cool. Kind of stoked if I get one of those, because that'll make video editing a lot faster, having more processor power, more bus, more everything. But I won't be buying a new computer anytime soon. I was actually contemplating on just upgrading the editing rig, because it can take a 3000 series processor, and they have the 3950 and the 3900s and 3800s. 3800 would give me 8 cores, 16 threads, 2 more cores than I have now. Plus it has all the new technology, but I have a B350 motherboard, so I don't know how much of that processor's capabilities will be limited by the bus width on the B350. So it's like, do I buy a new board too? If I'm going to buy a new board, a new chip, and new RAM, then why not just buy a new computer, stow a good GFX card in that thing, maybe update it to a 2600 or something, and make it a gaming rig. Even the 1600 would be a good gaming rig because she's overclocked to 4 gigahertz and she'll turbo. It's got a huge ass heatsink on it, so it can play games well. It's the 1060 that kind of throws it off, right? Because that's what I have in there, is a little 1060. Fine for video editing, for editing the VFX I throw around, like the crossfades and shit. But other than that, it's not the greatest for gaming. Like it'll probably play Red Dead Redemption at an ultra low setting, so I wouldn't want to try it because I got a lead on some video cards, but I'm broke as a joke on coke, so I can't afford any of them. And I was looking at a 2070, picking up a 2070 and putting that in there with the Ryzen, because the Ryzen 1600 scores higher than the 6700 right now by a fair amount. So even the 1600 would probably make a better choice. And then I was going to grab the 6700K, bring it down here, put it in the living room, hook it up to the TV, and use that for watching YouTubes and stuff down here when I'm lifting, and then use the have it just mine coin all the time. put the 1060 in there, put the 1070 in the editing rig, and then put the bigger graphics. Like if I bought a new, that's like if I bought a new computer. The one I was looking at was about $1,800, and it came with a 2060, but then for an extra $300 you can upgrade to a 2070. So I would just use the 2070 with the 1600, the 1070, put it in the editing rig, which would be the new computer, because 90% of your, like Sony Vegas or Magix Vegas, for instance, uses the processor to render. So if I have the 1070 in there to handle the VFX, plenty of CUDA cores to go around, or NVNC cores, will be fine, in theory. And then I can have all three machines mining at the same time when they're not in use, which would be nice. Because right now that B350 board, the BIOS is flashed to take a second generation Ryzen. Trying to source out a second generation Ryzen is not exactly easy. I've been looking around, the best I can do is a third generation, and for that I need a BIOS flash. So that's what I was thinking. If it's going to be a gaming PC, 6 cores is more than enough for gaming, because 90% of the games out there are still single core, single thread. They don't really multi-core. There's a couple games that do. Maybe that's changed. I don't know. But I remember back in the day, they were like, multiple cores for gaming is pointless. You want the least amount of cores and the fastest single core you can get. So basically, we would shut off all 4 cores and just turbo boost 1 core to the tits, and you get like the maximum clock speed you could possibly see out of that 1 core, and that would be how it would game. So like these 8, that's why they say if you buy like an 8 core or 16 core Threadripper, not exactly a gaming rig, more of a workhorse. And I've noticed with Magix Vegas, the new version 19, when I hit render and I have Task Manager open just to watch the processor cores, they're all sitting at 95% utilization. Like they're pretty much just jacked. Where when I used to render on Sony Vegas 15, the pre-Magix, it was Magix Vegas 15. It was Sony Vegas 13 before Magix acquired it. I literally went from 10 to 13 to 15. The only reason why I bought 15, it was a humble bundle. And then I got 19. There was a pop-up that showed up on 15 that said, buy it today for $199 and get this bundle. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I had some Christmas money, why not? And it completely was probably the best thing I did, because it has AMD encoding now. So I can use it on my laptop and actually get some encoding done, even though my laptop is kind of tomato soup, slower than frig, but it did the job, which is all right. Right now, what I need to do is get a protein shake going. I'm not gonna make it like I made it yesterday by adding the pre-workout to it. Instead, what I'm gonna do is just protein powder, creatine X3. A lot of people don't like this creatine X3. They're like, it's all just sugar. There is sugar in it, but there's a lot of other good stuff too. Like, you know, it's got, it's 80 calories. There is 5 grams of sugar, 19 grams of carbs, 510 milligrams of their muscle building complex, which is creatine monohydrate and creatine phosphate. There's 1,825 milligrams of their amino acid plus matrix, which is L-arginine, taurine, DL-alpha lipidic acids, L-ghelanine, and some other word I can't pronounce. Then there's the branched chain amino acid complex, which is L-leucine, L-valine, and L-isoleucine. And you can get that there for like 13 bucks at Walmart. Like that's, and it tastes good too. If you don't like drinking water, you just add that to your water. It's like drinking Kool-Aid. Might as well just fire the rest of the protein in here, because game over. This tub is empty. Time to move on to the Costco brand. And that's what Ryan was talking about with whey protein powder. He's like, the Costco one's not that great because it's high in calories. Now, this here is not a whey isolate, it's a whey concentrate. So it's 25 grams of protein, so it's 4 calories per gram of protein, so it's 100 calories. But there's 150 calories in here due to the flavor profile. Now it says it's got 0 added sugar and 0 trans fat, but there's 5 grams of carbohydrates because there's 2 grams of sugar, and I can't read the fat content. There's 3 grams of fat. There's like shit on the side of the bottle right where the nutrition tag is. Like I needed that. So that's 150 grams or 150 calories per scoop. And then Big Dirty Costco here, this one here is 130 calories, which that's not too bad. That's pretty close to the calorie mark. And it's 25 grams of protein per scoop too. 5.5 grams of branched chain amino acids and 1 gram of sugar. So it's 2 carbs, 2 fat, 25 grams of protein. And that's where you get your 130 calories. So this is actually better than the shit I was buying. So I don't know why Ryan's so upset about it. I really don't. I can't figure that one out for the life of me because the stats match up. Like he's always like, where'd you buy your supplements from? 3, 2, 1, Costco. But that is better than the Revolution, and Revolution's more expensive. I paid $44 for that 5-pound tub. I paid $30 for this 2-pound tub. So better deal, better protein source. But I'm sure he has another reason for it, and whatever that may be, it may be. I'm gonna throw some ashwagandha root into it, get a little bit of a mood builder for this afternoon. I love this stuff, man. You could be having the shittiest day. Like right now, I'm so tired because like I said, I was up on the phone with Nikki last night until about 11:45. And then I came down here, finished my vlog, and then went upstairs and I was about to edit and I'm like, no, I'm going to bed. So I just copied the data off the camera and I went and passed out because screw that noise. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up. Not gonna add the blueberries to it, just gonna do as I do and go from there. Right now it looks like chocolate syrup. And now it looks like the blood of my enemies. Look onto it, if you will. The blood of my enemies. And this will be my lunch. Oh, that's good. So a lot of people really like the long vlogs. And I noticed that. But I like filming 2 short vlogs in a day just so I can get a good amount of videos ahead. So I can keep up with the daily uploads without having to worry about going a day without a video. And the reason being is because people really enjoy the daily uploads more than they do the longer videos. And the reason why I know that is I watched the that 53-minute video I dropped. People were like, yay, long videos. But you watch the audience retention and it was only 11 minutes long. Now this is me playing the analytics game, which normally I don't do. But this time I decided to do it. So 11 minutes long. And then I was watching one of my 18-minute videos and the audience retention was like 11 minutes long, which is way better if you think about it. Shorter video, more retention, less percentage. Longer video, less retention, looks really bad. So that's why I try to keep them around 18 to 20 minutes long. It's because, like I get it, some people, they use it in the morning when they're doing the morning ritual of getting ready for work and that. They'll put on the vlogs and watch it or listen to it and then go from there. Where some people are just sitting around and they're like, oh, let's see what Adam's up to. Nah, I'm bored. And then they turn it off. So it's just a lot easier to make the shorter videos than it is to make the longer videos because they just get more audience retention, which is why I do what I do. But anyway, guys, I gotta get signed back in. So, yep, I gotta get signed back in. So I'm gonna chime back in with you guys later on my 3rd break and we'll go from there. All right, peace out. Oh, hey, how's it going? It's last break of the day, eh? Last break of the day. 8 minutes after 3 and I'm gonna be okay. Look at how sunny it is out there. She's a beauty day to snowblow, boys. Beauty day to chuck some white shit. We're gonna get her dead. We're gonna get her dead. One of these days we're gonna get her dead. And today is that friggin' day, yo. So like, just chilling here with my kitty. Just chilling here. Or not. Man, I just had one hell of a coffee piss. It literally reeks like Folgers in the bathroom now. Wow, 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 wow. So gross. So I just kind of went outside of the scope of my, well, not really outside of the scope of my job, but kind of sort of had a client with a programming problem and they thought it was the development kit, but it turns out it was their code. So I had to dust off the old programming language skills and relearn myself my Java, and I went through and I debugged his code. And, you know, he had a parentheses where he shouldn't have, and a dot here, and a semicolon there, and now it's up and running. And I literally had to tell the client that, listen, you're lucky you got me because I've taken Java in college and I forgot a lot of it, but then I remembered it just now, so kudos. But, oh man, I hated programming in Java. But the new Java development tools are so sick. Like, we literally wrote Java in freaking Notepad and then bounced it off the compiler and hoped to Christ it worked. And if it didn't, the compiler would just come back and be like, nope. And then you'd have to go through your code step by step and try and find out why it's noping. But now they got like this entire environment where you type your code into, and when it flatlines, it tells you the reason why. But the thing I noticed with this new environment is it'll be like this line of code doesn't work, but it's not because this line of code is typed in wrong. It's because a couple lines up, you screwed something up and it caused that line of code to shit the bed. So yeah, where was that when I was in college? Because that would have been friggin' amazing. We had to learn it the old-fashioned way. It's like people who learn math on an abacus and all of a sudden they're done high school and then the calculator comes out and they're like, well, crying out loud, where was that thing? Nowadays, everybody has a calculator if you have a cell phone, right? Yeah, fun times. I was like looking at this environment and I'm like, man, this looks a lot like Java. And he's like, oh, it is Java. And I'm like, really? They have a development kit they have a studio for Java now? I'm jealous. I was so jealous because like I said, we did a notepad, name it .jar and hope to Christ the compiler is happy with it. And a lot of the times it wasn't. And that's when you would rack your brains. This is the reason why I drank Labatt's Black Ice back in the college days. Because like you'd rack your brains so you might as well just kill off as many cells as possible so there's less to rack, eh? Oh my goodness. But anywho, guys, last break of the day and we're gonna get on with life. Afterwards, I'm gonna have to get out of these pajama pants and get into some real pants and we're gonna have to go outside and do some snow removal and collect some garbage and all that fun stuff, kid stuff, crazy stuff. And I don't know if I'm gonna put in a workout tonight. I'm thinking about it because I'm not nearly as sore as I want to be. So I figure, you know what, I'm taking enough beta alanine in that repairing seems to be happening at a nice rate. Why not beat the living shit out of the torso some more? So I'm thinking, because I do that sometimes, right? Sometimes I think it's pretty neat. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. I'm thinking that go outside, blast the driveway, and then come back inside, liftomania, liftomania, and then like burn off as many calories as we possibly can, and then have some dinner. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But like I said, I don't want to make super long videos because the audience retention sucks. And the view count's lower. People see a 58-minute video and they go, whoa, no. So, and I get it because I'm like that too. Unless I have time to sit down and watch a 58-minute video, then I'm on it. But like a lot of Joe Robinette's videos lately, they've been like doozies, like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. And then I'll forget about them and like months later goes by and all of a sudden they show up and the YouTube recommends for you. And I'm like, oh yeah, I said I was going to watch that. So I probably should get on that. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, like button. Questions, comments, concerns, put them down below. And until next time, guys, remember, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.